Okay, everybody, here we go. Here we go. It is time for the G1 Climax 29 final match. It's Jay White versus Kota Ibushi. And let's do this. Look at all the new Bullet Club. Now, obviously, this is brand new. This is happening, not right now, this happened today. And this is me watching it for the first time live, kinda, on a couple of hours of delay. So because of that, obviously I can't put the image anywhere here. So you're just going to have to trust me. And I guess if you're watching this, you know what's happened and stuff. You know the big spots I might be reacting to. So here we go. Let's listen. Bell's about to ring. Big deal. I'll talk about it through the match, but no time limit on this match. So this should go on forever. I might not have any fucking enough memory. I will have. But if it just stops filming, that's why. I'll post anyway. Miss the ending. Ring a bell. Oh no, he's not. He's thrown in the Bullet Club. Red Shoes, I'm going to say, Red Shoes is probably currently my favourite official. Look, he's like this. Red Shoes, I think, is my favourite ref just now. Now that's saying something because Charles Robinson is still active. And obviously I like the Scottish guys, Thomas Cairns and Sean McLaughlin and that team. I like Drake in NXT. This is from someone who is simply a watcher. I'm observing the refs doing their job. And obviously Kyoto's good and all the other, and Chad Patton. John Cone, the legend of John Cone. But I think Red Shoes, especially in this tournament, he's just been absolutely hilarious. Like the time when, who was it? Was it Bad Luck Fally? I think it was Fally. So there was a ref bump to the other ref. Can't remember his name at this point, which is a shame because I like to know these things. And Red Shoes comes out as a sort of second ref to make the count. And he comes out and he's looking about and he goes 1, 2, and he just goes to Bad Luck Fally. Is that not count 3? He's like, brilliant. Right, so the reason we're doing this, when's this bell going to ring? I wanted to capture the bell ringing on the camera. The reason we're doing this, folks, is because I want to try and, since this is now a total reaction channel, try and do some different types of reactions. So I do music, obviously, and I do movie trailers and try not to laugh and things like that. So wrestling is my main thing in life, so let's react to some wrestling. We're going to do a full match. This has taken far longer than expected. This video is going to be far longer than expected because the match, I reckon, will go about 40 minutes since the time limit is no longer in play. Usually it's a 30-minute time limit for G1 matches, but this has been the greatest and best. There's the bell. Here we go. This has been the best wrestling tournament I've ever watched in my life. I've decided this is the best one ever. And obviously I'm biased because this is the reason we're doing this. This is the first ever, or this has been the first ever G1 that I have watched every single match of the tournament in its entirety, for the most part. G1s in the past, I've always watched the final, you know, any notable matches that were talked about. But in terms of watching every match, 122 odd matches or something, every one has been consumed since July the 6th, I believe, till now, which is August the 12th. And it has been just an absolute, I tweeted this the other day, it's been one of the most liberating experiences as a wrestling fan I've ever had in my life. Just because you're seeing everybody's individual story. And although I've known that about G1s and stuff, actually seeing it and following everybody's story, it's ridiculous. Obviously, it's like, as far as I know, it's booked well in advance, right? The whole thing's booked in advance so they can kind of work out everybody's journey and everybody's story, which is a good idea, to kind of get it right, and obviously it works. But I think sometimes, especially this tournament, crowd reactions change and momentum changes and people evolve. And I think they should go with the times a bit more. New Japan are really bad at that. They don't change with the times, they're well behind on current trends and stuff, like not having any women in the company. No female wrestlers. The juniors can't beat the heavyweights, which we'll get to in a second. I like the tradition a lot of the time and stuff. He's going to shut Gedo out. Go on, Red Shoes. Yes! You're out of here! Gado being a bad heel. Red Shoes being the hero as always. So yeah, everybody's individual journey. So obviously whoever it was back in July or June has sat down and went, right, Kota Ibushi, Jay White, that's going to be your final. Kota's going to win the A block, Jay is going to win the B block. As a fan, obviously you don't know that. So as a fan, you're following on and you're kind of making your predictions and stuff. And that's what's been so liberating about it. It's just because you've been able to choose your own journey and stuff like that. So it's been mental. It's been great. It's so much fun. Obviously, the other tournaments I've watched, like the King of the Ring or something, doesn't give you that feeling. There's not been a King of the Ring in ages, but you know what I mean? Or like the Cruiserweight Classic, for example, that was amazing. But you're just watching it. You're just going along with it. But when you follow people so intensely, and you have your favourites, you know. And it's weird, I was thinking about this earlier as well. It's funny. So the story of this match is but Kota's got a bad ankle. He injured it. The first match he had against Kenta, earlier on this show, Kenta just joined the Bullet Club, which is the right move because he was getting booed a lot. Obviously previously known as Hideo Itami. But he's done great in this tournament, Hideo. I nearly called him Hitenta. He's much more fitted here than he is in 205 Live. He's actually a really good wrestler. You kind of forget that sometimes, but you can see that fucking scar on his shoulder. But Ibushi injured his ankle in his first match. The whole tournament, every single match he's had, all 10 matches in his block, the A block, against Ospreay and Okada and Tanahashi, and that A block was unbelievable. Every match he's been favouring that ankle, and somehow he's won the second block. So, yeah, I was thinking about this earlier on. So rare now, having favourites and being like, you really get behind someone, you really want someone to win a match. Because nowadays when you watch WWE, you just watch it. Whatever happens, happens. A perfect example would be Brock Lesnar cashing in Money in the Bank on Seth Rollins earlier in the year. You know, we all wanted Rollins to win at WrestleMania, but now the fact Lesnar cashed in and took the title back, this is post SummerSlam by the way, so Rollins now has the title back, which is good. But when Lesnar did that and took the title back himself and was like, we're right back where we started sort of thing, no one was really that angry. Do you know what I mean? People just accepted it, alright, okay. Whereas like here, in New Japan and stuff, and other companies, but mainly New Japan, I think, do such a good job of protecting their guys and protecting their main eventers and stuff. You really want people to win. So in terms of a full block of matches, it's really interesting kind of following it and being like, I want this person to win or that person to lose. And there are matches like that because you have your favourites in the block and there are ones you don't want to advance. You know what I mean? Example being, Shingo Takagi in the B block has become, I'm not going to say one of my favourite wrestlers, but someone who I will not miss his match if he's wrestling. Because he's incredibly good. He shouldn't be that good. They were talking about it on The Observer. Meltzer was saying like he's so good at hitting like very basic wrestling moves. Like if you were to learn wrestling, like learn a suplex or an arm drag or a drop kick or a clothesline, the basics of wrestling, a headlock, you watch a Shingo match. And obviously I learned about him through Dragon Gate back in the day, but I hadn't seen him in years. I wonder where he went, but then he was in the Best of the Super Juniors tournament. So between him and Will Ospreay, they were two of my two favourites to win the whole Best of the Super Juniors, and that was the final, and Ospreay won. My point of this whole rant about wanting people to win matches is like I wanted Ospreay to win that from day one, and he did. And then he won the junior title at Dominion against Dragon Lee, which was an incredible match. However, the final of the Best of Super Juniors between Ospreay and Shingo was like one of the greatest matches I've seen in years and years and years. Just incredible. Would be my top 5 favourite matches of the year so far. So then after that, Ospreay's got all this momentum and stuff, and he's like, I'm going to be the junior champion and I'm going to enter the G1. So I was like, brilliant, so that's more Ospreay matches to get to enjoy and stuff. Ospreay is like up top of current favourite wrestlers, and I was like genuinely behind him. So every single Ospreay match in the A block, I was like rooting for him and stuff, and it's so rare you don't get that anymore. Do you know what I mean? The only time recently that's happened in WWE was Kofi at WrestleMania. Yeah, against Daniel Bryan, when you're like, I really want Kofi to win, and it worked. Look what's happened. He's been booked so well, and the whole story played out well. I watched that 24 special this morning. Brilliant. because it's organic and you genuinely want him to win. So that's very important in things like this. Chases and tournaments and title matches and stuff. You need to care. And New Japan do a good job making you care. So Jay White here. Jay White is ridiculously hated. So I believe, by the way, I don't know who wins this, obviously. I believe Ibushi is going to win, because that's a nice underdog story. Because he's got his bad ankle and stuff. And I guess it's the right thing to do. I don't think Ibushi's ever won a G1. So essentially what that means is going to be Ibushi versus Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, unless Ibushi loses it, which I doubt will happen. Jay White, however, if Jay White wins, there's going to be absolute fucking uproar, because he's hated and the Japanese crowd will go mental at that. I don't know my Japanese history as well as I should, but I can't remember the last time. I know it's happened before, but like a dastardly heel won a G1. Last year it was Tanahashi, this big story. Year before was Omega, this big story. So, very interesting. Now my match of the tournament, this is what we're going to talk about. My favourite match of the entire tournament has been Will Ospreay versus Kazuchika Okada. So this whole tournament's been great because part of it was going on when I was on holiday. If you've been following the channel for a little while, you know recently I was away in Gran Canaria. So my daily routine was this, right? I'd wake up in the morning, go downstairs, have my breakfast in the hotel, brilliant breakfast, churros, pancakes, omelettes, sausages, bacon, everything, brilliant. I kind of miss the churros and stuff. Oh, Bushy doing moonsaults with that fucking ankle. You dafty, Kota. Kota's a dafty. What was I saying? Yeah, so that's what I do every morning. Go up, get my breakfast, go down to the pool, reserve a sunbed or two, sit there, get the sun cream on, get ready for the sun, get ready for the day, going in the pool and stuff, getting a drink and sitting there by the pool every day and watching the G1 on my phone. And by the pool with a drink in the sun, straight after this brilliant breakfast, watching these incredible wrestling matches. So again, my favourite match of the tournament was the Ospreay and Okada match, right? So we'd just seen the best of the Super Juniors final. He just won the junior heavyweight title. The junior, I don't think it's, unless it's like in the last 10 years or something, but I don't think the junior heavyweight champion has ever beaten the world champion. Not in this generation anyway. And it just never happens. So I'm thinking this is where history is going to be made, right? Because Ospreay has all this momentum. He's just announced that he's moving to Japan. That was a beautiful suplex. He's just announced he's moving to Japan, so the crowd are behind him. The company's obviously behind him. Okada loves him because Ospreay's in chaos with Okada. So I'm thinking this is it. This is where history is going to be made. We're going to see Ospreay beat Okada. And it's going to be incredible. So the whole time, but however, during the tournament and stuff, and through all the wrestling he's been doing, the junior tournament, the junior heavyweight title match, the tag matches, and the G1, Ospreay's really hurt his neck. He's got a really bad and sensitive neck. His nerves are going mental and stuff. However, we're thinking it's going to happen. Oh my days! He went for a chop block and he just double stomped him. So this match happens between the world champion and the junior champion, Okada and Ospreay. And I'm sitting there by the pool on my phone in the sun going, this is where Ospreay is going to beat the world champion. And it just goes and goes. It's like 22 minutes long. It's just, every move is absolutely pitch perfect. Okada with these incredible drop kicks and Ospreay hitting all his big moves. And nothing's beating Okada. Nothing will beat him. He needs to hit the Stormbreaker. However, he's got a bad neck, so he can't get Okada's big 6'3" body up for the Stormbreaker. Every time he goes to do it, Okada reverses because he can't hold him. Rainmaker, drop kick, Oz cutter on the floor, Robinson special, shooting star press, powerbomb. It's all happening, but he just can't hit the fucking Stormbreaker. And there's this spot where he goes for the Rainmaker and Ospreay catches him in a Spanish fly. And I'm sitting there on my sunbed like this. Say this is my phone, watching it on my phone, like this. And he hit me with that Spanish fly, and I just went, oh, and I sat up. And I was like, if Ospreay wins this match, I'm jumping in the fucking pool. And then Okada won. Ospreay didn't win. And I was like, oh my goodness, that would have been the greatest match I've ever seen if Ospreay had won. So I was disappointed. And then I was thinking, right, Okada's going to win the whole G1. And then if the champion wins the G1, then he gets to choose his opponent for Wrestle Kingdom. So I thought, well, he needs to choose Ospreay, because Ospreay came so close to beating him. And that's where, because Ospreay did this interview after, and he was like, whatever I do, I just can't beat him. I just can't beat him. What do I have to do? And I thought that's going to be the story for the fucking Tokyo Dome. But no. Okada didn't win the block. He didn't win the tournament because Ibushi beat him in the last day. And I guess the story with Ibushi's ankle kind of means a bit more, I guess. And Naito suplexed him on the apron at Dominion, I think, and nearly broke his neck. So that's another story. Big superplex coming off the top here. That can't be good. So yeah, that was incredible. Those stories were great. Other favourite matches from the tournament, there's been so many. It's been, as I said, it's the greatest tournament I've ever seen. Other great matches from the tournament. Ishii versus Moxley. They had like a street fight type match. Ishii did like a frog splash off the top rope to the floor through a table. Moxley's been incredible in this tournament. It's been so nice to see him. So nice to see him happy and free and just doing whatever he wants. That's been great. I'll tell you what else has been so good. Oh! I'll tell you what else has been so good in this tournament. The fucking commentary. Rocky Romero and Kevin Kelly. Incredible. What a commentary team can do for a match. Mental. So Moxley's been great. I loved the Shingo and Naito match. I loved the Naito and Ishii match. I loved the Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr. match. That was amazing. I loved Tanahashi and Ospreay. That story was great. You know, both of them were mathematically out of the tournament, but Ospreay still beat Tanahashi. I'll take it. You know what I mean? Shingo beat... Who did Shingo beat just there? Naito. Shingo beat Naito. Jay White was on like a 4-match losing streak, and it's like, and so was Zack Sabre Jr. And I was sitting thinking, Jay White's never going to win. And he fucking came back and won the whole thing. The whole block. And I like Jay White and stuff, but I've never said to myself I'm a fan of his or whatever. I've just not seen enough of him. I've seen him in like ROH and other New Japan stuff, but never fully pulled the trigger on Jay White in my head. It's like Matt Taven. Matt Taven's the ROH World Champion. I'm like, why? And then Jay White won the IWGP Championship, and I was like, why? I just don't think he has proven himself yet, but that's just me as a consumer. This has been the most New Japan I've ever watched because I've subscribed to New Japan World. I've always done it mad illegally and stuff, which I shouldn't be doing. You should support the companies you love. I mean, I ordered New Japan World, it's like $7.99 a month or something, which is a great deal. And I was thinking, how much will I watch and stuff? But I'll tell you something, I got my money's worth for the G1. It's been absolutely mental, the matches we're seeing here. I can't describe it. Every day, seeing these, essentially every day. Essentially every day, seeing these incredible matches. And there's so many great matches this year over so many companies. NXT and NXT UK, big Uranagi on the back of the neck. AEW and even WWE pay-per-views and stuff. And then through New Japan, and even ICW's put out some great stuff this year. Dropped him in the back of his head. So now, when you're watching these 4-star matches every day, that you're giving 4 stars yourself, you're not listening to anybody else, that you're sitting thinking, this is a 4-star match, a near 5-star match. That Ospreay Okada match, 5 stars every day. Every day. Ospreay and Tanahashi, 4.5 stars, I'd say. Look at this, wrist control. Nice. But it just happens so often. You know what I mean? So when you see, for example, Shingo versus Naito, which would be a 4-star match on any card, even 4.5, near 5-star match, it just kind of falls away because you've seen another 4-star match early on the show, or the day before, or you see one the day after. It's been absolutely incredible, so I can't recommend checking out New Japan World and the G1 enough, because it's just been so much fun every day watching these matches. You know, I've never been a big Ishii fan. He's turned it around for me. Just fell in love with him. Always loved Zack Sabre Jr. He's been great. Lance Archer, out of nowhere, was our MVP of the tournament. Maybe not the MVP, but definitely one of them. Always been a bit iffy with Naito, but he's been great. As I say, Shingo, Ibushi, Tanahashi. Tanahashi is in so much pain. He can hardly fucking walk. He can hardly move. How many ref bumps? That's the one thing I'll say. Ref bumps every fucking match. There's Red Shoes out. Low blow. Here come the boos. No, it's just mean the boos from the fans. Who's this? Oh, it's Guido. Coming with the brass knucks. Oh no, he's going for a chair. Who else has been good? Who else have I tried not to miss? Juice Robinson. Hated him in NXT. Hated him as CJ Parker, honestly. But he's a good wrestler. Goto's been good. Here, this is what they did yesterday to his ankle. Oh, that's not good. This reminds me of Michaels and British Bulldog at One Night Only, when like the hometown person's ankle is getting absolutely destroyed and you can't do anything about it. I honestly don't know who's going to win. I think Ibushi will win. However, I can just sense the fucking rage that would come from Jay White winning this. And oh, you know, the winner of the G1 will face the world champion at Wrestle Kingdom in the Tokyo Dome. But it can be lost and it can be changed over. So Jay White could win here and he could main event the Tokyo Dome, or he could lose it before then. Was it King of Pro Wrestling? I think that's in November, October time. But yes, there's Red Shoes just getting back up again. Let me know in the comments, please, if anybody's watched all the G1, and let me know your favourite matches from it. I know a lot of people loved Ishii and Moxley. I know a lot of people loved Ospreay and Ibushi. Even the first match with Tanahashi and Okada in Dallas, I believe it was. Even one of the Shingo matches. Again, they're all so good and they're all kind of intertwined. You forget about these incredible matches, it's ridiculous. Usually a match like, say for example, Naito and Shingo, that's like match of the year caliber if that's just on any random show, but the fact it's in the G1 and it's like another great match the following day or whatever, it's crazy. Will Ibushi get to the ropes here? I believe he will. Fans love Ibushi. I like Ibushi. He's definitely not one of my favourites, and I feel like it's just because I'm somewhat of a newer fan of like 3 or 4 years watching New Japan properly. And then when you join in and you see Okada, Tanahashi, Naito and Ibushi being booked to win everything, you kind of get sick of them a wee bit. Like if Tanahashi won this, right, when he's clearly unable to walk and unable to run and do that high fly flow, but he's just winning because he's Tanahashi, I wouldn't have been very happy. I can understand it last year because it was a big story. It was like he's out, there's no chance that Tanahashi's going to win, and then he did, that's a nice story. But if he'd won it again, I'd be like, why? He's just winning because he's Tanahashi. So I could easily say that about Ibushi. I could say that Kota's just winning just because he's Kota Ibushi. However, I do like the fact that he hurt his ankle on the very first day, and he's been this build-up ever since. And the fans love him, and he's just an incredible seller. He's an incredible wrestler, so athletic. He's charismatic. He signed a lifelong deal to finish his career in New Japan. Oh! Because obviously he was in WWE for the Cruiserweight Classic and stuff, and they heard the deal he was getting for 205 Live. Him and Zack Sabre Jr. were like, no thank you. Went back to New Japan, and they both had incredible G1s here. I'm trying to think if there's any other matches that I'm forgetting that I loved. There was loads of them. Absolutely loads. Ishii and Shingo was great. Ishii and Shingo was incredible actually. Londa into the corner. Do you know who's been quite funny? Not funny, of course he's been funny, but no, he's been really entertaining. Toru Yano, the comedy guy. Really, really funny. I saw him live in Edinburgh May or June of 2018. And he was very funny then, and that was the first time I ever saw him, and then like obviously I watched him since here and stuff. He was very funny. He's the one that ended Ambrose's streak Moxley was undefeated, and I was thinking Moxley's going to win the fucking block, and then he got counted out because Toru tied him and Shota Umino's legs together, and he couldn't make the count, which is hilarious. But I didn't like the fact that was his first loss, and after that he'd like hardly won again. I thought Ibushi, oh big German, outside back inside. I thought Ibushi and Moxley would have been incredible, would have been a great story. Would have been like, Ibushi's the hometown guy, but he's got the bad ankle, and here comes Ambrose from outside, but he's a main eventer. I love the fact that both Moxley and Kenta came into this tournament straight away, you know, right off the bat of returning / debuting in New Japan. They're immediately, so people were pushed to the side just so they could get into the tournament, right? And they were booked so strongly. Both Kenta and Moxley were like undefeated for the first 5 matches or so. They were saying online that, you know, if that was WWE, they would make them earn it, and they would lose to Titus O'Neil on main event first, and then maybe they'd get a SmackDown match or something. That didn't happen here. Didn't happen at all. They came in and they were superstars right off the bat. And because I'm not a huge fan of both these guys, I like them both, but I'm not like a huge, like if this was Ospreay and Okada, or if this was Shingo and Okada, I'd be far more into it. Do you know what I mean? It's just exciting the fact I've watched it all, and this is it. This is the final here. One thing I'll say I didn't like about Kota is he keeps using Shinsuke Nakamura stuff. He keeps doing the Bomaye and the taunt, the Yeo taunt and stuff. These strikes are ridiculous. Listen to these. So yeah, it's been great. A lot of fun watching all these matches. And now they're doing the Super J Cup again. They're doing 3 days in America. Give these guys a wee rest. God, I mean, I'd love to watch more Will Ospreay matches, but he is hurting, man. I just want to tell him to have a couple of months off, because Ospreay would be in that tournament, obviously, because he's the junior champion. And I wonder if the Alpha Chris Jericho will have another New Japan match. They were building to one with him and Tanahashi, maybe at the Tokyo Dome, which I'd be well up for. Oh, 2 legends. I'd be up for that. But obviously Jericho's doing AEW, and it looks like he's doing that pretty much full time now between that and Fozzy. But there's nothing that would stop Jericho from doing another New Japan match if he wanted to. However, they stopped using his theme song because they didn't want to pay the copyright fees, which does my box in. It's so annoying. See, they don't pay the music rights, so they can't play Will Ospreay's theme, they can't play Minoru Suzuki's theme, they can't play Jericho's theme. But whatever. Some of the New Japan theme songs are great. Ibushi's is brilliant. Moxley's is good. Goto's is great. Last Ride, that's incredible. Sit down Last Ride. That was close. 25 minutes, but there's no time limit. This could go a fucking hour. I doubt it. There was another bit in that Okada and Ospreay match where he was going to go for the he being Okada. Look at this, doing the Shinsuke thing. Yeah. Kinshasa. There was a bit in that Ospreay and Okada match where Okada was going to go for the Rainmaker, and Ospreay backflipped over him and put him into the powerbomb as if he was going to hit the Stormbreaker. The place was going absolutely mental because they thought it was going to happen. Because like, of all the reversals, this is where it was going to happen, and Okada still reversed it again, Rainmaker, and then won it with like a discus one. A spinning Rainmaker. That match was the best. Jay White's been a great heel in this tournament, always like running away and like taunting and hiding behind the ref and stuff. Gedo's in. Gets kicked by Ibushi. Here we go. Oh, right in the back of his head. He's still up. Oh! The Bomaye, or as we call it in the mainstream media, the Kinshasa to the back of the head. Oh look! Rocky Romero's going to get Gado. That's funny. Just throws him on the floor. Oh, watch Jay. Jay's going to reverse this here. No, he's not. Kinshasa! Bomaye! No. That was good. Was very surprised Naito never won. Very surprised Okada never won. I guess that would be an ideal final, I guess, or Shingo even, but I know Shingo wasn't going to win. Shingo finished like 6 or 8 points, which I was disappointed by, but he won on the last day, which was alright. I think he's the one that actually stopped Naito from winning. So, I can't believe Moxley never won. The blocks, I mean. I thought they were certainties for the final, but I know you can only get 2, and 2 of the ones I wouldn't have picked actually from the start was going to be Ibushi and Jay White. But as the tournament goes, you can kind of call, especially Ibushi, big kick to the head. You can definitely call Ibushi with the injury and stuff like that, and being super popular and that. Oh. Oh. Blade Runner. I don't know who's going to win here. This is it. Pretty certain it'll be Ibushi. Ibushi just lands on his fucking head all the time. Just for fun, almost. He's not going for the cover. He's not even going for the cover. He's going to try and do it again. This will be brutal. I know he's fighting out a bit. Oh! He does him! Straight jacket German. Oh! Holding on to the wrist. Oh! Right on his fucking head. Every suplex attempt, anything, powerbomb, backdrop. Kota's like, I'll land on my head. Here we go again. Oh man. That German on the apron back at Dominion looked like career ending. And I heard that it was actually legit as well. Here we go. Oh! Jay White could win this. Going for the Blade Runner. No. Oh! So there's 30 minutes gone, that's the time limit. But there's no time limit. Blade Runner! Oh! Oh! Hit him! No! That was a long 2 count. That was a long 2 count. Red Shoes does that all the time. 1, 2. No. Just adds to drama, I guess. Boom! It's got to be it. It's got to be it. Boom. There you go. Wow. Ibushi. Wow.
He's now beaten Jay White, and with the G1, he's proven to the world that he damn sure can.
31 minutes, so 1 minute after the the proper time limit, which I quite like actually. Like, just takes him 1 minute extra to beat him. Well deserved. He was outstanding the whole tournament. Well deserved victory. Jay White was good throughout as well. Again, I would have loved Okada, Ospreay, Shingo, but happy with a Ibushi win. Definitely well deserved, especially with the bad ankle and stuff. And that was a good match. They always go on about how, like, you know, the final and the last match of the tournament's always the best one. I can't say that. Again, I wasn't totally focused on it. I was talking to you guys. But my favourite match of the tournament was Ospreay and Okada. I loved Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr. I loved Ospreay and Ibushi. I loved Shingo and Ishii. I loved Shingo and Naito. I loved Ishii and Moxley. Kenta and Ospreay was good as well. Ospreay and Tanahashi. Just great match after great match after great match in this tournament. So it's totally worth watching it all. Totally worth investing your time and kind of picking your favourites and stuff. But there you go. Kota Ibushi wins the G1 Climax 29 and heads to the Tokyo Dome. Here come the waterworks. I'm not going to stay and watch the whole, or keep the camera on for the whole speech and stuff, but there you go. That's it. Thank you very much for watching along with me. Please let me know in the comments what your favourite G1 match was. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and go watch some New Japan, baby.